People, we are Tottenham TV, back here for the Champions League previews. It is Monaco against Tottenham. It is Tottenham's third Champions League game of the group phase. After beating Villarreal, drawing with Bodo Glimt, it is time for our second away game against Monaco at the Stade Louis II Stadium. We got here with Brian Daigle. How are we doing, bro?
We are doing good, brother. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. I am not bad. Always exciting times when the Champions League comes around once again. And look, and it's an important game. You know, after the disappointing performance out in Bodo Glimt, I think it's, we need to put things right out in Monaco. It's a team where we don't have the best record against. I think the last time we came up against them in the Champions League group phase, we lost to them both times, home and away, I believe. And I think I was at the away game, and when I was at the away game, I was in the pub with the Spurs fans before the game, and I was inside the pub and I look outside and I see Novak Djokovic just walking past the pub. I was like, as you do on a Spurs away, they just see Novak Djokovic just walking past the pub. I was going to get into the predicted lineup first, but as it's such a nice start, I thought we would just carry on with the match preview. Because,
let's do it.
Monaco are a really good side, man. Monaco, in terms of how they're doing in their league, they haven't started the league too well, sitting 7th in the French league with 14 points. And we're sitting 6th, I think, in the Premier League with 14 points. So exactly the same points tally from Monaco and Spurs going into this game. Unfortunately, it would have been an Eric Dyer derby, but Eric Dyer's picked up an injury, so we won't be able to see him once again. But who we will see, and who I'm sure the away travelling fans will give a very hard time to, is Florian Balogun, who's probably going to be playing up front for Monaco. Everyone saw the Monaco-Man City game in the last group phase game. You know, 2-2. Monaco played really well. Eric Dyer scoring a penalty and the Dev winning a penalty as well, which shows, you know, going to that stadium, you need to be on your A game if you're going to pick up 3 points.
Yeah, it's a unique stadium as well, isn't it? It's a wonderful part of the world. Champions League is always exciting to be in, and like you said, they've got some troubling players. We don't have the best record with them home or away. You mentioned about their points in the in Ligue 1. How did they do in their other game in the Champions League? Are they the same points as us Champions League wise?
So they lost in their first game, 4-1 to Club Brugge. Okay,
so there's a really important game. It's a quick turnaround to try and get away, dust the cobwebs away from Sunday's performance. And let's hope they put in a performance to make us proud. Yeah.
You know, we've got a few selection headaches, which we'll get into the predicted lineup a bit later. But in terms of obviously, Matisse Tell can't play. He's been our starting number 9 over the past couple of weeks. Romero's a big doubt going into it. You've got Destiny Udogie, who's likely to be out for it. So it's going to be very difficult. I think Moani, from what he showed in the 10 minutes coming on in the game on the weekend, doesn't seem like he's ready or fit enough to play. So you do imagine probably Richarlison leads the line for us once again. It's going to be interesting to see how Spurs combat this, because the way Monaco have been playing is a back 3 system. Obviously, Eric Dyer has been at the heart of that in the middle of a back 3. So with Eric Dyer being out, does that make them change formation? Do they have someone else to slot straight in there? Are you worried coming up against Monaco tomorrow?
Joey, you say about them being a back 3, and will they change? Will Thomas Frank say, what I've been trying hasn't worked, and he'll try something new? I think if you look at the team and when we do the lineup, I think it's fairly obvious the goalkeepers will be Vicario, and up front it's going to be Richarlison to start. And they're 2 players that need to have a very, very good game, aren't they? They're obviously, Vicario's come under the cosh a bit. Richarlison, the goals are kind of dried up. What formation does Spurs play if they do go to a back 3? Does he try 2 up top and go 3-5-2? There are so many questions for this game. Am I worried about it? With our track record, Monaco, in head-to-heads, you could say a little bit, but I've got my faith and confidence in Thomas Frank to get the job done, and it will be a great confidence booster going into a very big week for us domestically, if we can get the 3 points there tomorrow.
Yeah, last time out in the Champions League in our first away game against Bodo, you know, we rested Palhinha, we rested Kudus. Do you see Thomas Frank doing something similar? Do you think we will rest players for this game? Like, surely we can't rest Kudus, because we just saw, like, even in that Bodo game, right, without Kudus, we've got little to no attacking threat.
Well, he rested Simmons as well, didn't he? So I can't. Could he rest one? Possibly. Should he rest any of them? Either of them? I don't think so. I think it would be good to get them both on and hopefully try and get the game wrapped up. Let's say we get hopefully 3-0 ahead, and then go, right, you two can come off, or one of you. Excuse me. But I think we saw the difference with Bodo, that when Xavi and Kudus came on, that creativity that was so sparse to begin with instantly picked up. And we're going to need that tomorrow.
Yeah, we are going to need it. And, like, when you're looking at the midfield options, like, I don't know, like, in this game, these are the kind of games where I don't mind seeing Palhinha and Bentancur alongside each other, but because he's persisted with them at home and, like, much to our kind of frustration, keep Palhinha, Bentancur at home, Palhinha, Bentancur at home, where we're saying mistake after mistake. In the away game, in the Champions League, we didn't go for Palhinha and Bentancur at home away. We went for Sarr and Bentancur with Bergvall more further forward in the 10. I would prefer him to go Palhinha and Bentancur in this game, and then at home against Chelsea on the weekend, maybe go for Palhinha and a Sarr.
Well, remember, we've got Everton away Sunday.
Oh, sorry, Everton away. Yeah, so that
Chelsea's the week after Newcastle. But no, you look at it, like you said, what we've got to remember is as well, Premier League-wise, when we play away, we're top of the league in form. So it's working away, but obviously it's definitely not working at home. And I think I wouldn't mind it if we have Kudus and Simmons playing, because then you have got the creative. If both of them aren't playing and he does it, then you're lacking one creativity, or maybe the two. And I'd be against that. But I don't know how you feel, but I think Thomas Frank has now got to start experimenting at what is that right midfield too. Because for me, Palhinha is the number one out, Palhinha and Bentancur. I think Palhinha, like I was saying to you earlier, he reminds me, he's so elite in that position. He's kind of like with Ledley King when he played against the Dawson or whoever. He will just elevate that person next to him. And I think we saw against Villa the lack of forward passing to get the Simmons on the ball. I think Sarr or Bergvall and their movement and energy and drive could free Xavi Simmons. And we need to find a way to get his mojo going. And Thomas Frank needs to find the answer to this midfield conundrum, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He really does. And you look at this Monaco side, they got a couple of players in that team that, you know, Spurs have been heavily linked with in the past. Magnus Akilush, obviously their danger man, and Spurs heavily linked with him. And in the summer, he was even asked about it in the press conference, saying, you know, what were your thoughts about being linked to Spurs? And, you know, he just gave the classic kind of, yeah, it's always a proud moment and something big to be linked with Tottenham Hotspur. But yeah, he's that danger man that you really need to look out for. And he plays on the right wing, so he should be coming up against Jed Spence. That will probably be playing at left back. Hopefully another one added to that Jed Spence penitentiary. Yeah. I'll be more worried if he was on the other side coming up against Pedro Porro, because we saw what happened in that Bodo game where that Haug guy was on the left wing and Pedro Porro just got taken to the cleaners in that game.
Yep, he did. And I couldn't believe it when you started to say we've been heavily linked with a couple of players from a team. When aren't we? But obviously, Alikush, is that how you pronounce it right?
Akliush.
Akliush, okay, excuse me. But he looked like a very, very, very key target for Spurs to try and get in it, according to all the rumours. And he does look like a very dangerous player. And like you said, Jed Spence, with his one-on-one defensive capabilities, you would hope that he'd have him on lockdown. And like you said, it will be another one going into the penitentiary. As Jed says, there's going to be some fascinating head-to-heads in this game, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's quite interesting because I'm seeing the way Monaco kind of line up majority of the time. So they sometimes play with 3 at the back, but since Dyer's out, they've actually gone for a 4 at the back.
Okay.
Maybe they tailor-make it to opposition instead of whether it's Dyer in or out, because they have played a back 4 with Eric Dyer at the back as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how much they actually rate us. Are they going to go 4 at the back against us, or do you think they'll go similar to what they did against Man City? They did it against Nice in the French league as well. No, they went for back 4 against Nice. So for the majority of games, it looks like they are going for a back 4 instead of a back 3. But then against Man City, they switched it up to a back 3. Against Club Brugge, when they lost 4-1, it was a back 4. but they found joy when they played Man City in that back three. So I do fully expect them to go for a back three potentially.
Yeah, I mean, also let's face it, when they went to a back three, when you've got Haaland to mark, you'd like to go to a back 5 or 6, wouldn't you, just to keep him quiet? Does Richarlison worry Monaco that much to say, right, we need to go to a back 3? Does Simmons or on running midfielders do that? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm actually just looking. It's actually they had a change in manager. That's why they've changed his formation.
Oh, there you go. That'll do it.
So it looks like they are probably going to play a back 4 then.
Okay, so there you go.
So if they play a back 4, then hopefully that will play into our hands a bit more, because I feel like if we are going to come up against a back 3, we're struggling so hard to create chances at the best of times. So if they have an extra man at the back there, it could cause a bit of problems for us.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that one. It really does. Let's just hope they're going back 4.
Another player that who was the other player that we've been heavily linked with as well from Vanderson at right wing back or right back? He plays for Monaco as well, and he's been obviously starting a lot. He's a player that's very much impressed me in the past. Haven't seen much of him probably in the last year or so, but you just know it's just written in the stars that these guys that we're heavily linked with come and haunt us, don't they?
There is a funny way of that happening, but let's just hope tomorrow we have got enough about us to trouble them and not let them have too much trouble against us, because it's a vital game now. If we can get this win, obviously that'll put us on 7 points and put us in a healthy position going forward for Copenhagen. You'd think we'd be the overall favourites for that one at home, but our home form, who knows? We're getting deep into this. In a couple of weeks, we'll be 4 games in, won't we? We'll be halfway. And if we can be sitting with, let's say, 11 points, we're in a very good position.
Absolutely. Another player that we've been linked with, actually, in the Monaco team is Ansu Fati.
Oh,
do you remember that when Brighton signed him ahead of us? How bad you went.
Well, both of us did. You and me were doing the update.
Yeah.
We were doing the update saying Fati's coming to Spurs. We got
Gray instead, right?
I can't remember who. No, it was before the season before Gray.
Was it? Who did we get instead?
I can't remember who it was, but I can remember you and me were doing the update. We were doing it for Fati. You had to go to your parents because your Wi-Fi mucked up. You got there. We started doing it. He's coming to Spurs. What can he add? And then you saw Romano, and you're like, and then obviously I went on a massive Levy tyrant. That was an entertaining day. But he hasn't really done much, has he? Since we're all saying, oh, we're going to get this Barcelona kid, but he's flattered to deceive, hasn't he?
Well, he done nothing at Brighton.
Yep.
He did nothing when going back to Barcelona the following year. However, this year, he's played 4 games for Monaco, scored 5 goals.
God damn it. God damn it.
So he's actually had a very good start to the season, Ansu Fati.
So we're going to have to nullify a few of them.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting.
And is he on Porro's side?
So in the last game, he actually played in... Where is it? I'm pretty sure I saw him playing in the number 10 position.
Oh, Paulinho can deal with him.
Paulinho will gobble him up,
exactly.
Surely. But, yeah, he played in the number 10. So they had Fati in the 10, Akalouche on the right, and Mika Bereth up front. And Mika Bereth, I mean, he caused a storm last year. He came in and scored loads of goals, and he's going through a bit of a dry spell at the moment. He's a guy that came through the Arsenal academy on the Arsenal ranks along with Florian Balogun. So they've got 2 ex-Gunners coming from the academy.
So there's 2 ex-strikers, 3 ex-Spurs targets, and could have been an ex-Spurs player in there. Oh, that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
And they've got the old West Ham centre-back in Kera, and the old Southampton centre-back in Salisu.
Bloody hell. Well, it's going to be an entertaining game.
Yeah, most definitely will be. Which I think, if we can win this game, it just stands us in such great stead, because I think our next 2 games after this is Copenhagen at home and Slavia Prague at home.
I believe it's definitely Copenhagen next. I think is it not Paris Saint-Germain next?
Let's have a look. So it's Copenhagen. Yeah, it's Copenhagen, then PSG, then Slavia Prague.
And then Dortmund to finish.
But you got to expect 6 points from Copenhagen and Slavia Prague. That's got to be 6 points.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Exactly.
PSG, you'd probably say, probably a loss.
Yep.
Dortmund, I think we can do something against.
We have a good record against Dortmund, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Recently in the
very
Champions
good record
League.
Against Dortmund, but they're doing all right this season, Dortmund. But this game could be one of like the differentials, the difference makers.
Yeah.
If we can go tomorrow, go to Monaco and get that win, I think it stands us in really good stead to make that top 8.
And if we get those 6 points as well, it will show that point against Bodo could be very, very important in the grand schemes of qualifying and what position. And if we can go 4 games of the Champions League, 3 wins and a draw, like I said, confidence around the club, puts us in a very good position to get out of the group stage.
Yeah.
And then it will set us forward for the upcoming domestic schedule.
Yeah. But, you know, Monaco got their own worries, you know, only 1 point in the Champions League so far. They need a win.
Yep.
They desperately need a win in this game. So it's going to be interesting to see how they approach it. Are they going to approach it to stifle us? Are they going to kind of go front-footed and go on the attack? Like Monaco have only had this manager for a couple of games, so I don't think he's managed a Champions League game. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of way he sets up his team in a really, because this game is more pivotal to them. Because if they lose against us in this game, you know, that really puts a major dent in that Champions League group phase for them.
Yeah, it most certainly does. Taking 1 point from 9 will put them under enormous pressure. And obviously, like you said, the new manager starting his Champions League campaign, there'll be a lot of pressure on him. Can he handle it? We'll wait and see.
Put it this way, yeah, Monaco, after this, they go to Bodo Glimt away, which is a tough game.
Yep.
Then they got Galatasaray, and then they got Real Madrid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
you know what I mean? They need 3 points.
Yep.
Desperate for it.
But they ain't getting them.
They ain't getting them.
Ain't
That's what I like. The confidence. They ain't getting them.
No way.
So what's your score prediction?
2-0 Tottenham.
2-0. Clean sheet as well. What's going on with the clean sheets, man? They've dried up.
Well, Kevin Danso at the back. I like I said, I will any chance get to scream about my love for that guy. He's so dominant in the air. He's such a good deputy to come in for either Romero or Van der Ven. And when he's there, obviously we miss the qualities of Romero, but his defensive work is to be commended. So we get amongst the clean sheets tomorrow.
Yeah, I really hope so, man. I think we're going to draw tomorrow, you know.
Ben.
I think we're going to draw. I think it's going to be like 1-1.
Do you know what? I've become the sunshine of this channel. What a world are we living in where I've become the sunshine?
It's a great world.
It is. Loving it.
It's an absolutely beautiful world. Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a really difficult game. I think Monaco, under a new manager, they're going to have, you know, a new lease of life about them after, you know, you lose your job, dodgy start. You know, they showed against Manchester City with the players that they got what they can do on the big occasion. And I think they're going to perform tomorrow, Monaco, and it's going to be up to Spurs to kind of override that, stamp our authority and show what we're really about. You know, it's not been going too good in terms of our general performance for Tottenham as of yet. You know, results haven't been too bad, but coming off the back of a loss, I do want to see Spurs put it right in this game. And if we win, I think it'll be massive for us. Yep. But a draw's not going to be the end of the world, but if we win, I think it just puts a big stamp of authority into the group.
I think you look at it as well, if it was to be a draw, but we saw a lot more creative play and a lot more ideas up top with free-flowing football, then I think people will look and say, you know what, there's been a change in the tactics, that looks more like it. But if it's a 1-1 draw and it's a performance like Aston Villa or Wolves, then obviously more talk will come out. But like I said, I have 100 million% faith, confidence and belief in Frank. And he'll get the job done.
Me as well. I mean, I've got full faith in Thomas Frank. And I was saying this to Sim the other day, like, everyone says they want to see ball progression through the middle. Everyone says they want to see free-flowing attacking football and all that kind of stuff. I have no doubt in my mind the football's going to come at some stage. I want to see results right now. I think the most important thing is results, just to keep us live, to keep us ticking and to keep us up there. Like, I've seen people say, like, you know, I prefer to see a performance rather than a result right now, just to see us going in the right direction. But I'm the opposite way around. Like, I prefer to see the result than the performance, because I think the performance is a work in progress, and I think it will come at some point.
Yep.
And it will click at some point. I think at the moment it's not clicking. I think it's there for everyone to see. But it's still, 8 games into the Premier League campaign, 2 games into the Champions League campaign, 2 losses in all competitions, such big games to come. I think it's just important just to keep results ticking over. And then the longer Frank has on the training ground with all the players and figures it all out, the performances will come.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to someone today on Twitter when I showed how Thomas Frank's attack did last season with obviously the 4 that he has. They're like, well, how long did that take? And I was like, well, do you want to go back further when he developed Ollie Watkins, and look what he did for Brentford, goal machine, went on to Villa, done what he did. Then Neil Maupay, who obviously away from Brentford hasn't done very well, but was incredible. Then he's had Ivan Toney. This guy, when he gets the right player in, or right players, and we'll develop them. He will develop them.
But it takes time. It's
exactly.
It's not just an instant thing, right?
Exactly.
You look at how long it took him to develop players like Mbeumo.
Correct.
How long it took him to develop players like Sade. Sade didn't score for like a year before he went on that mad run last year, and now he's one of Brentford's most important players. Damsgaard as well. Like, there's so many kind of situations where it just takes time, right? Everyone wants a quick fix and for it to happen instantaneously. But I think it's impressive just in itself, just to get results, consistent results.
Correct. And as I say, we've looked at the moment, currently out of the team is 86 goal contributions from last season, and that's before I even include Brennan Johnson, who can't get a game at the moment apart from off the bench. You take that out of the team and then you replace them at the moment with Tel and Odobert and Richarlison, who, let's face it, haven't got the greatest return.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel it, but hopefully with if Mawani can get some more minutes in the second half, let's say, or whatever, and gets more minutes against Everton and starts getting regular minutes, and then Solanke comes back, then we're talking something different, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think if we win, it'll be a major result for us tomorrow. It'll be massive. It really would be. When we win tomorrow, let's say. When we win tomorrow, it'll be a major, major result for us. But if we draw, I don't think it's, it's not the worst result in the world. Just don't lose tomorrow, Tottenham. But yeah, winning would be massive. Absolutely massive. So unfortunately, I do think it's going to be a draw. Brian is going for the win, so let's all go with Brian. Let's go with Brian's prediction, and let's hope Spurs can win by 2-0. But that is your match preview. Let us know your score predictions in the comments section below. But let's